I hope I remember how to do this. Let's get started. What's up, guys? It's been about 10 or 11 months since I posted any video of any substance on my channel, and that's because I've been really busy working on my master's. So you know, time is very limited, so I have to put studying above videos, which kind of sucks because I really love making the videos. But my semester just ended yesterday. What we're going to go over today is a box of stuff that I ordered for a vacation trip that I'm going to be taking next week, actually. So I wanted to go through some of this and maybe do some quick unboxings, and then I'll mash this all together, and then we'll have a video. So let's get to it. These are Bushnell Falcons, 7x35 millimeters. These are pretty cheap. They're about 25 bucks on Amazon. Pretty like basic, I think. You can see just based on the size of my hand, these are like not like tiny, but they're also not like massive. I think these are pretty basic as far as like what they do. You look through here and things look bigger through the binoculars. There are some lens caps on the front and on the back. Came with a pretty chintzy neck strap, but you know, 23 bucks, so what can you do? You do actually also get this little pouch, a lens cleaning cloth, and then we can pack this away and use it on our trip. While we are on the subject of optics, I guess I could talk about this. This is another recent purchase. This is a Nikkor lens for my Nikon camera. This is an AFS DX 55 to 200 millimeter lens, f4 to 5.6, and this is VR2 for the image stabilization. I have a Nikon D3200, which I bought originally for making YouTube videos, and I've had it for a few years. And I only really have the kit lens, which I'm using right now. And I have a 35 millimeter prime lens that I use for like pictures and that kind of stuff. And even though I only bought this just for videos, essentially, or at least initially, it actually isn't too bad of a camera for like taking regular pictures. Go figure. So even though it's a few years old, it still works for me. And because I'm taking my trip, I decided I wanted to get a little bit better zoom lens than the kit lens that I have right now. The kit lens is an 18 to 55. This 55 to 200 seemed to fit the bill, and I can't say that I did a ton of research. What I can tell you is that I did enough research to know that for about $140 or so, that this seemed to be just fine for what I'm looking for. I'm not completely sure that I'm going to keep my Nikon camera. I've been eyeing some Canon cameras that I would love to get, like an 80D or something like that. But for now, this seemed pretty relatively cheap to get to kind of round out what I needed for my trip anyways. This is a basic zoom lens, plastic housing, but I took a couple of test shots with it. And what I mean test shots is I sat at my desk in my office and zoomed in on, like, you know, the curtains in my office or something. And it was pretty good in my limited amount of testing here. So when I take my trip, this is going to be the only lens that I take because I have to pack light, and I thought that this would be a good addition to what I currently have. Alright, moving right along. I guess we're still on this kind of camera vibe here. This is the cheapy neck strap that came with my camera. It's serviceable, I guess. I don't use it very much. The times that I have used it, this is very uncomfortable after about 5 minutes of having it around your neck. It's not very stable because it just relies on friction, I guess, to kind of keep these in. So I decided that I wanted to get a better strap for my camera. And I decided on two things. So first up is this Altura rapid fire neck strap. I don't know what this competes with. I don't know if this is an off-brand or what. It just seemed really nice to me, and relatively cheap. You can sense a theme happening here. So here's what it is. This is the first time I'm actually taking it out of the box. This actually is very padded. It's actually really nice. Cool. And then it's got this pretty chunky and heavyweight clasp at the bottom, and I guess that operates with this guy. And I will take this out. Now this is like a machined piece of aluminum that will screw into the bottom of my camera. And then there's this grommet here that this will fall into, and then that's how I will carry my camera. This seems really comfortable, to be honest. This metal piece here with the screw, this is pretty nice. And then there's a rubber pad at the bottom here. And then this will just go over my shoulder or my neck or whatever. And then there's a zipper pouch up here. I don't know if you can see that. There's actually like little sections here for like SD cards, which is kind of nice. And then this paper, which I don't want. And I guess you could put like cables and stuff, I guess. I don't know. But for sure, memory cards, that'll fit just fine. So that's actually pretty cool. Now this thing, I guess, is kind of like a lifeline for your camera. Let's take this out. So this will actually, this will go on the normal metal piece that your the existing strap would go through, and I would tie that onto there, and then using this little carabiner, hook it onto the strap here, so that if for whatever reason I drop my camera or something else happens, I got like an extra level of protection, which is actually pretty neat. Now, this thing is, because I couldn't decide what kind of device I wanted to use to hang onto my camera, is, I don't know, this is from a company called Viltrox, but this actually is kind of like a Chinese ripoff of a other device that I can't remember the name of. This is a VX-10. I'll put it here somewhere, the actual real one. And how this works is you unscrew these right here. This is like aluminum, and then this will actually go like that, and will fit over like a strap like this, say like for like a backpack or a belt if you wanted to wear it this way. And I know for sure we're gonna have some backpacks on our trip, and I thought that I could use this, hook it onto my backpack, and then this comes with a removable piece that sits on the bottom of the camera, screws on to the tripod mount, and then now my camera would then fit here and then snap into place, and then I can just carry my camera that way. So I thought between the both of these, the neck strap and this little like backpack or belt device, that I would have every base covered. And these were both pretty cheap. I think this was like, I don't know, 14, 15 bucks, something like that. And this was, I think, about $20. So, very cool. At least I hope it's going to be when I use it. Next up is something I've been wanting for a little bit. And it's not the SanDisk 64 gig micro SD card. It's actually what's underneath it that this is going to go into that is going to be kind of cool, or at least I hope it's going to be. This is a SoCoo C30, and this is, I mean, really it's a Chinese knockoff of a GoPro, but you know, for what I paid for it, I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks, something like that, compared to, I don't know, a few $100s for a GoPro. I figured I'd try this out, and based on my research, or at least on what I saw in my limited time that I was researching, this seemed to be a pretty decent contender. So I can show you what's in here. Now, a couple things. This claims to be a 4K recording device, but everything that I've seen about it suggests that it really isn't, based on how it's processing video and kind of upsampling or doing some funny magic business underneath the covers. But for a 1080p high def action cam, this is supposed to be pretty decent, and that's actually what I'm going to use it for. So we've got this kind of nice box, and this says happy whatever. Get a bunch of accessories, which I'll show you. I think the camera's in here, and then in the bottom, wow, there's even more stuff. and then the box is empty. For what it's worth, the box itself is actually pretty heavy weight, which is kind of neat. And let's see, let's open this first. Now I haven't opened this at all. I've been waiting to do it on camera. So what's in here? Nothing left. Okay, so this is maybe a replacement door for the waterproof case that this comes with. Some mounts, instruction manual, warranty card, lens cleaning cloth, and some zip ties. Some pads of some kind. I guess these are like sticky pads for mounts. And okay, that's a battery. I think there's two in the box. One in the, maybe one in the camera and one in the a spare one. USB cable and some kind of strap, maybe a neck strap or something like that. There's more accessories. I want to keep those separate, so like when I put it away, they all kind of go back in their same box. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to get all of this stuff back into here. We'll see. And in here, oof, there's a bunch of different mounts, I guess, and clips of different kinds. Yeah, this I think is for like a handlebar, like if you're gonna put this on a mountain bike or something. Here's another, what looks to be like a camera mount. There's a screw input on the bottom. Some more clips, I guess, and more cable mounts, some screws, and like a million different kinds of like mounts of different kinds. I don't know if that's the right word. And then here's the actual camera. Here's the camera. It's actually pretty small. It's in this waterproof, or at least I hope to be waterproof case. And let's pop this open. This little spring-loaded action thing, you pull this way, and then the front part actually comes forward. So that's pretty easy. So let's do that again. All right. And so I guess this part right here, there's a spare one somewhere in that pile. And here's the actual camera. Now this is really small. See, it fits in the palm of my hand. There's some plastic that I will peel off eventually. And I believe there's a battery in here. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, so that's a little bit easy. And then that just pops out a battery, which I'm going to leave in for now. And hopefully, yeah, that's not so bad. It's got this rubberized texture on the outside. The battery door itself actually felt kind of light, kind of cheap, but you know, it was 50 bucks or something, so I'm not going to complain too bad. I'm actually going to take this off and see if there's any juice in this thing. Hey, so that kind of lit up. I don't know if you can tell, but down here the battery's pretty spent, so I'm just going to turn this off. And then the waterproof case, this actually has a nice seal. This I actually feel pretty good about. At least it feels decent. And that kind of snaps in. You've got some buttons over here and on top and on the front, and those all correspond to the buttons over here on the side, the top, the front. On the side here, here's the slot for the micro SD card, which I'm going to pop in there soon. There's a USB for charging, and I think that's HDMI, mini HDMI or something like that. But overall, looks pretty cool. I'm going to test it and probably take it outside and see what it can do. Well guys, I'm really hoping to get back to videos on a regular cadence, at least for the next 3 or 4 months. Well, next 3 months I would say, because that's the break in between now and when I have to start taking classes again. I have a bunch of projects that I'd love to get on video and put up on the channel. So for example, I have a UPS that failed that I'd like to fix. I've got another UPS that's got bad batteries that I have to fix as well. My home server has a failing hard drive in it that I have to take care of, and I also would like to move that home server into a little bit better case in the future. There are a couple of things that I bought for a trip that I took to India back in January that I think might be cool to kind of show. So there's just quite a bit of stuff that I'd like to get to and try and put some content out, at least for the next little bit. I can't promise what it's going to look like in August, end of August, beginning of September when classes start up again, but at least for the time being, I've got some time and I want to get some videos out for you guys. So anyways, it's good to be back. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more regular with the content, and we'll take it from there. So thanks everybody. See you next time.